my name is Josh Rosales. I'm from Denver, Colorado, and I did 19 and a half years in prison out here. My dad was in and out. He's present now, but we grew up in a single mother household, me and two of my brothers. So like I said, growing up, my mom, she did the best she could. She was there for us. She did what she could, but at the day, she was raising three boys. You know what I'm saying? So that easy money was so addicting. Somebody was killed, and I was 21 years old, and when he got killed, he landed on me. Yeah, so like I said, I was 21 years old, and me and a friend of mine went to go do a drug deal. Things went wrong. It turned to a robbery, and my homie ended up killing the guy. We flee the scene. There's a shootout later on. My homie and the cops, they kill him, and it comes out later I was with him when he killed somebody. And felony murder in Colorado used to be, if you're in the commission of a felony and a murder happens, you're liable for that murder as well, whether you committed it or not. So my homie that committed the homicidal offense, he passed away, but I was still charged with the murder he did because I was with him doing that felony. And like I said, he shot him a couple times. He didn't want to kill him, but the bullet went out and in his arm and then in his heart is what killed him. The victim ended up pulling a gun on me before he got killed. That's what started the struggle. And then when we flee the scene, we don't know he's dead. But like I said, he landed on me. We just pushed him off, and we just thought he was hurt, you know. And then find out later he was dead. And I went to trial and I got life without parole. It was never supposed to happen like that. It's supposed to just things went wrong, you know. It was miscommunication and people owe money and some other shit happened. And when it happened. But out of other co-defendants, they wrote statements. I'm the only one that didn't. And I went to trial and I got life.
You said your co-defendant died?
One of them did, yeah.
In the shootout?
Yeah, the cops killed him.
Damn, that must have been on the news.
Yeah, I'm sure it was. And then two other co-defendants they wrote statements on me. So I'm in the county jail filing my case, and I remember they offered me, I think 40 years. And because my brother was my Sally, and he'd been to prison before. And he was like, man, take that. And I was like, hell no. When I ended up getting found guilty, I remember asking him, I got found guilty, like, hey, bro, like, what's it like in there? You know, because I did juvenile time. What kind of advice you can give me? And I still remember this day. He just said, shit, be yourself. That's it. Be who you are and you good. I was in the county about 2 years fighting my case. And then when I got found guilty, when I went to prison, shit, it was that, be yourself, you know? I wasn't nervous because I did juvenile time, honestly. And then when I go, I just seen a lot of people I knew from juvenile on the streets. My thing was just adapting to the politics and prison rules, you know? And that's the thing that I was just talking to somebody earlier about, some youngster, like, in there they teach you everything is disrespectful. And when you're disrespected, you handle it with violence, you know? And so at a young age, that's what I did. I fought a lot while I was in there.
Instances that happened to you while you're in there?
Just a lot of dumbass fights over nothing, pretty much, you know. I moved right, even though I wasn't in the politics or the gangs and I was in prison. I still did what I was supposed to do. I still lived by the code, and you know, the do's and don'ts I still followed out of respect for my environment. And I was fucking up for about 10 years, and about 10 years in is where I just had that paradigm shift. I want to do something different and become a better person. So I started just reading and studying, and that's when I fought for them to pass law in Colorado. Me and a friend of mine, her name is Missy. At the time, I was like, man, I got life, but I'm going to try to get out. Shit. That's what I did. I took us 4 years. 4 years for them to pass law in Colorado. It's now a class 2 felony where it's 16 to 48 years, that same offense. But it wasn't retroactive, so it wasn't still supposed to affect me. Denver had a unit called the Conviction Review Unit where they reviewed certain cases, and they came to visit me, and I was blessed with a second chance. It just so happens that when they came to see me, I was doing the right thing in prison. I was a mentor in there. I was getting my education. So everything just worked out.
So when you were in there, you stayed out the way?
No, at first I didn't. At the end, I did.
How are the gangs in Colorado?
Oh, there's a grip. There's all kinds of gangs. It's like, I'm sure everywhere's the same, you know?
Did you see people get extorted?
Yeah, we see all that. And it's funny because, like, it's crazy. I was telling somebody, like, my progression when I was in prison, because when I first went, I got a rush from seeing certain stuff. So, like, if somebody pulled up and they're like, hey, they're going to stab that fool. They're going to get at him. I used to follow them just to watch it. To get a front row seat. Like, oh, shit. You know? The craziest thing I've probably seen is when I was probably, like, 3 feet from somebody behind them, and they got hit in the head with a lock, and their shit just split. And I was, like, close up, like, oh, shit. But for the most part, it was just everyday thing. And then at the end of my time is where I stood out the way when they was like, they're going to get so-and-so. Shit, I'm cool. I'm going to shower. I'm going to get out the way. Don't want nothing to do with it, you know?
You get tired of seeing that stuff. You wanted to better yourself.
No, hell yeah. I was just talking to a youngster today, and then what I told him was this. I said, hey, it's a facade. It's just glorified in there. So you out here gangbanging. The thing is, you go to prison, at least out here, and your ops out here is who you're breaking bread with in prison. So what you're doing is you going against each other out here and doing all that, and you go in there for some shit, and you're chilling with the same dudes, you know, breaking bread, kicking it with them, working out with them, and if you went with the program, then you're gonna get crashed out. So it's for nothing. Now, I don't really like touching on that too much, but I will say is it's not a secret. I'm known for every facility I touched on, I pretty much was doing something, you know, until the end of my time when I started becoming a different person. And I didn't want to do that no more. But
what's the worst thing you can do if you got time?
what's the worst mistake you can make in prison?
Yeah.
Fuck, I'd say getting involved in the gangs. But if you're already involved in them, you don't have no choice.
And why is that a bad idea to the young people watching this?
It's because you're doing somebody else's time. You know what I'm saying? Like you go in there and you figure you're fresh off the block, and you got dudes that been in there for years together, so they don't want to shit to go to the hole. So if you're their homie and you pull up and some shit goes to happen, pop off, you got to go handle it. You don't even know these dudes. You had nothing to do with it. But you got to go handle it because for one, they want to kick it, and for two, they probably already kicked up their own dust. So you got to prove yours. You know what I mean? Like me personally, when I wasn't involved in nothing, if there was an issue, I handled it. It's because I got myself into that issue.
How important is respect in there?
Oh, respect is huge. That's what it's all about, is respect. It's being respectful. And I would say this, though. Prison made me a better person. I got out more respectful, more humble, more appreciative, more grateful, you know, because I wasn't respectful before I went to prison. I was just didn't care. I was oblivious to people around me. I was selfish. And you learn real quick that you're going to respect people. I'm talking about noise level to conversation, just everything, what you say, how you say it, and I carried that out here. The advice I would tell them is check this out. You're out here kicking up dust trying to go to prison. All your homies and big homies are trying to get out of prison. I promise you that. You know what I mean? And yeah, we got some homies that are down for us and they do things, but for the most part, when you go, shit, your mom, your dad, your family, people they disrespect, they're the ones there for you. Like my mom rode for me tough when I was there. She passed away before I got out. Rest in peace, but she wrote while I was there. You know, at the end, my pops was to visit me and stuff, but for the most part, the people that I was disrespecting are the ones that was there for me, and everybody else wasn't.
So your loved ones, you lost them while you were in there.
Yeah. My mom didn't even live to see her prayer answered, which was me getting out of prison. But I'm out here doing the right thing now for her, you know. And like I was saying earlier, I talk to youngsters. That's my job, kind of. I'm a peer coach. I'm a behavioral health technician. I try to give them examples like, hey, this is the right thing and wrong thing, and the cause you're fighting for, what you think, it's not the cause no more. The real flex is someone that's never been to prison. I'm not knocking us that have, but that's the real flex. Motherfucker, like, I never been in the pen. I went to the county and I learned from my mistakes. That's what's up. That's the real flex. That's some real gangster shit, I think. And that's what's up. And that's what I tell people. Like, I got the best education, which is experience. You know what I mean? And I'm not proud of it. Like, when I do my videos and stuff on social media, I put my story out there because to give people awareness. But then I also don't glorify, like, hey, I wish I could say I'd never ever been to prison. Unfortunately, I did. And you said, like, talking to the youth is crazy. You say that because when I was growing up, this sounds dumb as fuck as a grown man, but I wanted to go to prison. I knew I was going to prison sometime, eventually. Because I used to see people get out, tatted, swole, cool. Oh, shit, that was cool back then. Hell no.
Yeah, you think when you're young, you think that's your rite of passage to become a man.
Yeah, you think it's some stripes because you went to the pen, and you realize that it's really not. You know what I mean? The real flex is out here getting your education, getting that job, getting some real money the right way.
What do you think about this drill music?
I don't know. I mean, I listen to some of it too. I go back and forth, but at the same time, sometimes it's too glorified. And some of them, yeah, some of the rappers are about that life, but some of them are rapping their lifestyle. They just glorify. They don't even live that lifestyle. So the youngsters are trying to compete with it, but you compete with somebody rapping some shit they didn't even live.
Least favorite meal?
My least favorite meal, shit. I don't, honestly, it's been so long. I don't know, because you get to adapt to it. You end up liking that shit. You know, you have no choice. I mean, when I would just take condiments and shit, you know, my biggest thing, I hated the control, man, of being told what to do, what not to do. You know what I'm saying? Like getting ready for rec, waiting for rec call. And then they say rec is canceled, you know, you and your workout clothes ready to go. Just little things like that, you know. And I got homies, they call me all the time from the pen still, different prisons out here. And it's the same shit. And it's crazy. For those that are listening, them youngsters, I promise you, my homies that call me from every prison, they say the same thing. It's watered down. It's whack. It's not what it's supposed to be.
Have you ever had a good day in prison?
I mean, I made good days. I ain't gonna lie. I'm known for being optimistic. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was happy, in a good mood. I was the same way when I was doing life. But I promise you this, my worst day out here is better than my best day in prison. You know what I mean? And I'll keep you the time. I'll keep it real. Is it horrible? No, we make the best of it. Do we have fun? We do shit. We clown. We used to get some moonshine and drink and shit, fuck around. We did our thing. We had fun, but we had no choice. We adapted. At the end of the day, that shit is whack.
I agree with you on that. So when you thought you had all that time in there, what did that do to your mental?
Oh, see, that's a whole different ballgame, honestly, yeah. I still go through it. Thinking you're never, ever going home, there's no explanation, honestly. I don't know. It's just, it fucks you up because you think you're never, ever getting out. I got a paper in there framed. My parole date was the year 9,998, straight up. Like, my appeals were denied. I was supposed to never, ever get out, man. It does something that, like I said, you can't explain, but you also got to make the best of it. What do? You know, I'm doing life no matter what. So I'm not going to walk around miserable.
So when you finally get out, what's the first thing that you do?
So I went to a community corrections, a halfway house, and I chose that instead of going to parole first because I wanted to adapt and reintegrate slowly. My first thing was just like, honestly, just getting clothes and shoes and getting stuff I needed because I was locked up so long I didn't have nothing no more. Adapting to this world out here. The thing out here, I was telling my homie the other day, is that what I do miss about prison is them good-ass conversations. Like this. We just chop it up. You know, we have good-ass conversations sometimes. Come on a tier and just chop it up with somebody. It's rare to have those out here now. And that could be with the crowd I'm with, maybe, I don't know. But it's rare to have them good-ass conversations now.
No, you're exactly right. What are some positives and some negatives that followed you outside?
The positive is, like I said, the respect thing. Respect, the structure, gratitude. I'm grateful for everything, straight up. Negative, I wouldn't really say much negative followed me because I used that experience, you know, and my situation was different because I was never getting out, I thought. So I'm out. It's a blessing to me every day.
So you're not like more paranoid or nothing?
No, I learned a lot from it though. Like you said earlier at the beginning of the conversation, like I don't really chill with nobody on my free time. I don't have too many friends. It ain't because I'm paranoid. I grew up and I learned shit ain't what it is, and people ain't gonna match my loyalty for that reason. So I stopped giving it out like that.
Now, Colorado prisons are racial segregated.
Not really. Like some prisons, it was like, you know, the black section, Mexican, and the Chavo and shit. But really made no sense because we go all work out together and break bread together and shit. And it's not really like that because of gangs. You know, most gangs are different races. So that pretty much broke that barrier right there.
What's the worst thing you've seen up there?
The worst thing? Like I was saying, probably when that dude got hit with that lock in his head and his shit was split, 'cause I was right there. But I've been in pause before where people got killed or stabbed. That, like I said, that just becomes normal.
Did you see people lose their life?
Yeah.
That happened with that lock?
No, he lived.
Oh.
But it's just, like I was saying, you know, from doing time, it messes with us because it's not normal though, right? But that becomes our normal. I was talking to the homie the other day, as a matter of fact, about, because we have been having some conversations, and that's what we said. We was like, it's crazy how we adapt to certain stuff. Like, I'll be sitting there talking to someone, and they're like, hey, that fool is going to get stabbed later. And I know this, but I'm like, oh, shit, you're a barber? Come here before you leave. He's like, huh? And in my mind, I know they better get him, but I'm like, I want a haircut real quick. Fuck it. And that's not normal, though, just to go back and I'll see you later.
What could they do to make prisons help people?
Maybe the communication more, you know, like, and honestly, when I got out, they have a lot of programs that are in Colorado now. Like, they have certain college classes and groups. They have programs like that already, which helped me do what I do now, get into what I do now. That's where I got my education in there.
And what do you do now?
So I'm a peer recovery coach and a behavioral health technician. So what that means is I'm like, I help people get jobs, get housing, and their insurance pays for it all. Mental health training, chop it up. I'm like a resource broker, a friend, an ally. Like today, I took 4 dudes. We went and worked out together. During that workout, though, we have a discussion about healthy habits and non-healthy habits and certain triggers and things like that from their substance use.
Yeah, so you got out and you're helping people now.
Yep.
That's what's up, man.
No, man, just what you're doing, that's tight. That's good getting the word out because, like you said, you've done it, I've done it. I ain't knocking nobody with the passion to help people that hasn't been through it, but they got the passion. We need them too. But to get to the youth, also, we do it. We don't get nothing out of this. We don't, and like, we want to reach youth we don't even know. You know what I'm saying? And like, we're trying to help like our family and friends and like that. So that should be more about this message for those who are listening. Like, it's because we walked that life. We done it. You know what I'm saying? They say a smart man learns from somebody else's. A smart man learns from all mistakes. A wise man learns from somebody else's. Like I said earlier, the biggest flex is fuck that. Don't go to the pen. Learn now. Ain't nothing wrong with if you fucked up. Cool. You went to the county. If you haven't, learn from that and keep it pushing. Do what's best for you and your family, and you'll be good. Hey, you got to be your own man first.
What platforms are you on?
I'm on mostly TikTok. Just my name, Josh Rosales. I put positive content out there. I like putting positive quotes, things like that. Hey, I'll soak up game from anybody. Never stop learning because life never stops teaching, straight up. Funny stuff, but mostly just real shit. Some quotes are mine, some aren't. Some are from books I read, some are just different shit. And just to remind people, like I said earlier, be grateful, be great. Because I got out, man, it's crazy how many people are negative out here. I'm like, what? You're always doing better than somebody, and there's always somebody doing better than you. Be grateful for what you got, you feel me? No matter what. No matter what.
Yeah, man. It's been an honor having you on, man.
Yeah, for sure. Appreciate you reaching out, man. It was a little difficult at first with the audio, but we figured it out.